What up, man? It's your big brother K-Rino, and y'all can see by the title, man. I want to address this because I think we have morphed into a backwards way of thinking and into a backwards level of understanding as it relates to this subject. And that is how it's become so popular and so prevalent to stand on stupid codes. And should there be codes that we live by and mantras that we live by in our life, and as it relates to our communities and each other as a people and all that? Absolutely, I'm totally in favor of that. But like I said, over time, um, that understanding has kind of been twisted and made into being something else that I believe is ignorant. I believe is foolish. And like when you talk about the snitching conversation, now I understand. Don't get me wrong. I understand if I go out and commit a crime with three other guys and I'm the only one that get caught. I'm the only one that gets caught, and whether they know that other people are involved or not, they got me. And I decide, well, did y'all ain't never catch Rodney? They ain't know nothing about Rodney. Or if they will say, well, who else was involved in this with you? Whether they know or not, then I'm like, shh, well, it was Rodney, it was J-Bo, and you just start just spinning the bean. That's different. I'm like, I'm not into that because I feel like we all made a decision to do what we got to do. If I'm the one that get jammed up, then I got to eat that. Plain and simple. I just believe in that. Also, if they take it a step further and say, well, man, we really not worried about you or somebody on your level, man, but can you get us somebody bigger? Well, what you know about such and such? You may not even know that guy personally. You may know what he does, but you may not know him personally, and you start working with them to get a person that's totally unrelated to your situation in a situation. I ain't with that. First of all, I ain't with criminal activity, period. I ain't even in favor of putting that off in, but I'm saying theoretically and hypothetically, in those scenarios, people do that type of stuff all the time. Now, the problem comes in when you have people that, because they are standing on these so-called codes, they will allow anything to happen within a community. A guy going out on a robbing spree, he robbing and jacking people, or you got a dude raping women and killing people and doing all this different thing. And this is an individual who anybody with a civilized mind would agree this person should be off the streets. This person ain't got no business on the streets. But hey man, I don't know nothing, man. I ain't no snitch. I ain't got. That's retarded to me. That's dumb to me because you're allowing your own community to be terrorized by a nuisance and by an individual or individuals that could possibly harm you or your family. So that's kind of backwards to me. Or even if somebody gets caught up in a situation and they decide, hey man, I'm gonna go out and hey, I'm gonna take this to the authorities. I may feel in danger for my life, and you impose that code on them. You impose that code on them because that's what you believe. Now, I don't like to really give anybody a pass for that, but I can kind of understand why young people would think like that. We not always fully mature and understanding as we should be in our minds when we 17, 18, 19, 20 years old. All these, you still kind of in that silly little ignorant mode. But I'm seeing a trend of a lot of older guys. These guys in their mid, late 30s and 40s still talking like that. Still acting like, hey man, oh man, he violating the code and he ain't real, he ain't real, all this different stuff. So never once speaking on codes that are valid. The code of protecting the community, protecting the women and children, the code of policing our own communities, and not letting law enforcement carry out police brutalities and terrorize our community, linking together with other like-minded men in the community that stand on that and those types of codes. You never hear them talking about that because they get so enthralled with the BS that gets glorified and is made to, in their eyes, present them as some kind of street authority, some kind of exalted street figure because I'm speaking on these so-called codes that I so-called stand by, and a lot of them, they don't even stand by them codes. A lot of them get jammed up. They'll be singing like bluebirds in the morning. So a lot of it is just a front. But the problem is when it's pushed out there and presented out there, there's somebody who would take to it and start to say, okay, yeah, that's what's up. So that's why we messed up in a lot of ways in terms of this area because we're backwards. The things that we should be standing on, we either don't acknowledge them at all, or we just don't have any knowledge of it. And the things that we shouldn't be, that we should be dismissing, those are the things that we hold up and act like I'm real because I think this way. So I think it's something, we got to start teaching some kind of class on it. We need to get some seminars on the internet or something, to give people understanding because a lot of young people and people in general are throwing their lives away, behind standing on it, So let's keep that in mind as we move forward. Y'all tell me what y'all think. Am I tripping? Y'all tell me in the comment section what's on your mind as it relates to this, and we'll go from there. It's your big brother K-Rino. Y'all go to my podcast channel, the Underground Dialogue Podcast, and check out the Rap Draft. Y'all don't want to miss that. Peace and love.